And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank you for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, and I don't know where to start. First of all, your man Sam Bankman-Fried has been arrested in the Bahamas. Coincidentally, the eve of his congressional testimony. Was he going to let some cats out of the bag and start snitching on people on the left and the right and everybody else? We'll talk about that in a minute. Also, the notorious bag bandit, the bag thief, the alternative universe Matt Damon, Mr. or Mrs. or Mix, whatever their pronouns are, Sam Brinton has been fired from the federal government and arrested for the whole Las Vegas situation. I'm not sure about the Minnesota one. We'll talk about that in a minute. Also, California has a new plan to pay black women who become pregnant universal basic income. I've read they're going to pay them as little as, I think it might have been $500 or $600 a month, and as much as $1,000 to $1,200 a month for 12 months. Not the 9 months that it takes to incubate a baby. 12 months, just because. Make it a round number, right? We'll talk about that. Also, the Viktor Bout interview on RT was very eye-opening. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. If you enjoy what you're hearing thus far, if you enjoy the channel in general, if you enjoy my content, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got a whole lot going on tonight. There's a whole lot happening. I got a few videos for you guys saved, of course, as always. I got a few new topics on deck. I got a few updates to some prior stories. We're going to get into all that in just a moment. But first, this is a podcast you're listening to right now, and it'll be available on all your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether they be Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, Apple, iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. And if you're listening right now on the audio streaming platform, please give me a 5-star rating or review, whatever you can. On that platform, I'd most certainly appreciate you for doing so. And of course, this will be available on those platforms as early as 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the very next day after the podcast is filmed live. So right now I'm recording it live on the YouTubes. This will be available, what's the day? Wednesday. It'll be available Thursday, December 15th, 2022 at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. So check it out on those audio streaming platforms. Thank all you guys who faithfully tune into me over there. Also, check out my websites. You got to go to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these internets. Their link will be in the box. Go to bhedesigns.com to make the beautiful handmade wooden flags that are right behind me. Their link will be in the box. Also, go to my websites, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Once you go to the homepage, you have articles for each video that I produce. Check it out over there. I always cite my sources. Everything's all good. So if I can't post a video on the YouTubes because they're going to try to flag it, they're going to try to censor it, whatever they're going to do, go to my website and it'll most likely be over there, either embedded into the actual article itself. You could play it right on my website, or it'll be a link in the sources section of the particular article for the video that corresponds to what you're trying to find. Also, go to the contact page, anthonyblogan.com/contact. You can find my email address, my snail mail address, my social media accounts, Twitter, Facebook, Insta Snaps, Grams, whatever. All that good stuff is right there on the contact page of my website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, go to the merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. There's a new update on YouTube that allows me to place my merch right below the actual video for each video. So you can check it out right there, or just go straight to the website directly without having to interface with YouTube. Again, ablmerch.com, anthonyblogan.com. bhedesigns.com and patriotpost.us, and all my links will be in the description. If you ever need to ask me, hey, ABL, where is this thing? Where is that thing? Look no further than the description box below the video, or if you're audio only, there should be a description section somewhere with some links in it. And the easiest way to go about it, just go straight to my website directly, type it in. Y'all know my name, AnthonyBLogan.com. Somebody spamming about Rumble. If you're asking me to go to Rumble on YouTube, does it make sense? You know, put that into your brain. But anyway, I digress. So we got quite a few topics on deck for today. And where do I want to start? I kind of want to start with some things that are not necessarily on the list, because I have some videos that I saved here. I got to talk about the Bad Bandit getting arrested and some of the memes and whatnot. Well, the Bad Bandit has not only been arrested, but he got fired. That's the more important news, that he got fired from the federal government. You know, it was just a matter of time before he got fired. That's pretty much what that was. Oh, and before I start, I want to send prayers out to all those who were caught up in the storms that are sweeping the South right now, and also up in the northern parts with the storm, with the snow. Hopefully you guys are safe. I saw there was a tornado that touched down right at the Dallas airport, if I'm not mistaken, right by the airport. Then there was a tornado in Louisiana. So you guys stay safe. I'm not really in the crosshairs of the storm, I should say. I'm up a little bit further north, so I'm not really in the crosshairs of the storm. Are we getting right now is rain. There's like a flood advisory, but it's no flooding right where I'm at, so it's all good. You know, it's all good. So yeah, so if you guys are in that particular line of storms, y'all please be safe. Be safe, because there's a whole lot happening out here in the world. I've seen quite a few things that are pretty cringe. I've seen some videos from the Biden administration that are really, really cringe. I've seen some things from Sam Bankman-Fried. We're going to get into that, because that's a really deep story. That story is as deep as the ocean. I'm talking about Mariana's Trench. The lowest level of the ocean. This story is deep. And you know, the reason why it's deep is because people in the federal government are involved. People in high level finance are involved. Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank, he's involved with it. I don't want to get into that right now, but I'll get into it later. I promise I will. So let's go. First things first. Hold on 1 second. I think I'm gonna pull up this video here. Let's do this. So, matter of fact, let's not even do that. That's kind of not even really a topic. I think I want to get to. Let's start with the UBI for California, shall we? That's probably an easier way to go about it. And then we get into the heavier topics once people start to file on in, once they find a live, once they get themselves situated, get the popcorn and cool drinks and all that good stuff. So California UBI, what's going to happen is, well, what's already happening, to be present, to speak in the present tense, San Francisco piloted a program where they paid pregnant Black women specifically universal basic income throughout the entire pregnancy and for a little bit longer. So 1 year. They've already helped 125 or more women, maybe like 150 women. They've helped so far, so quote unquote helped in San Francisco. And the idea is to give them a minimum of $600 a month and a maximum of about $1,000 to $1,200 a month for 1 year. So you could potentially take in $12,000 in 1 year just for being a pregnant Black woman. This is a program, like I said, it started in San Fran with London Breed, who was a Black female mayor, and it's going to expand to 4 other counties in Los Angeles. They're talking about LA, Riverside, Contra Costa, and Alameda. Now, straight away, the elephant in the room for all of us should be, hey, isn't this racist? Of course it is. If you have a program that's going to give money specifically to a race group and exclude other race groups, then it's racist, especially when you're dealing with public money. You're dealing with the taxpayer money. This ain't just, it's not like, okay, if me, ABL, wanted to give money to Black families. Now, a person's opinion could be, hey, that's racist. You're excluding people. That's somebody's opinion, but that's my prerogative. I could give the money to families and not even say it's for black families, but all the families are black. That'd be my prerogative. It's my money. I'm not taking public money. I'm not taking your money, your taxpayer, gunpoint, IRS money. I'm not taking that money and giving it to people based on their race. I'm taking my own money if I was to do that. You understand? But in this case, they're talking about taking your taxpayer money and giving it specifically to black women who are experiencing pregnancies. Oh, and it was funny because some of the language they used, talking about birthing people, you know, you got to be careful with their language. Let me come back so you can see me clearly here. Their language is very, very sneaky. Birthing people, people with XYZ genitalia. It's like, what do you, why beat around the bush like that? Like, why do that? Matter of fact, I think I saw Mark Lamont Hill, the famous person who, quote unquote, debated, well, got demolished by Candace Owens. And she was asking him a very simple question. Like, Mark, can men have babies? He was stuttering and stammering. Mark, can men have babies? It's very simple. You know, because when I was a young man and I was in school, I was taught that only women can have babies. Men cannot have babies. I was taught about basic, you know, the basic anatomy. Okay. Where is a child going to come from in the male? The male is not designed at all in any way to produce a baby, not like physically give birth, to aid in the conception. Of course, you gotta have to, you know, it's like I'm talking to like little kids, right? It's like I'm talking to 5-year-olds, but you gotta have the man and the woman, the mom and the daddy. They come together and the baby is created. I'm talking like that to full-grown adults. Okay, you got people talking about, oh, my child is 5 years old and transgender. How? So your boy came down the stairs one day wearing his mama's heels, not knowing what he's doing, and then the parents say, oh, that must mean he's transgender. Really? For real? I mean, come on. When I was a little boy, I might have put on a Ninja Turtle outfit, a Power Rangers outfit, or whatever. Am I a Ninja Turtle? Am I a Power Ranger? Did I just transform into a Transformer? Am I Optimus Prime? Am I a whole 18-wheeler sitting before you talking right now? Or am I just a dude on the internet just talking about whatever's going on? It's very simple, but I digress. The point is that people are nuts. people are totally nuts, and this whole thing is crazy. And they use their language to try and make themselves be legitimized. They'll say, "Oh, birthing people, people with uteruses." It's like, why say that? Why not just say men and women? It's a very simple term. It's a catch-all term. There's no need to say 15 words when you could just say one word. People born with birthing equipment who are this, that. Why we gotta do all that? One word, woman. One word, man. Very simple. Like I said, a man's not built to have a baby. You got a narrow pelvis. Okay, you have no exit strategy for no baby's head to come out. I mean, that's gonna be very painful. But I don't want to go down that road, so I digress. The point is that in San Fran, they're going to give birthing people universal basic income for 1 year. Now, it's going to be a small program. They're going to have fewer than 500 people enrolled in it in a year from all of California, including San Fran, LA, Riverside, et cetera, Contra Costa. And the whole point is to reduce, I guess, infant mortality, to reduce the burdens that Black women go through during pregnancy. But you know what? Let's talk about that part. You know, people say in the Black community, there's a higher chance of infant mortality, things of that nature. A lot of that is lifestyle, because I've seen some stuff. I've seen some things and some stuff. I'm talking about you pregnant, but in the club, pregnant, completely pregnant, smoking weed, doing drugs, hard drugs, not just weed while pregnant. I'm talking about cocaine, heroin, like all types of just crazy stuff, right? Like you got the hood people and like the super redneck people, like right neck and neck. You get methamphetamine over here, you get cocaine and weed over here. It's like the same type of situation. That's kind of what is going on. You got an unhealthy lifestyle. Unhealthy lifestyle contributes to a lot of these things being very high. Now, of course, you're going to have people that have complications regardless of what they do. But I'm talking about having a very high level of complications, infant mortality, things of that nature. It's like maybe if you didn't smoke crack during your pregnancy, maybe if you didn't drink liquor all the time in the club while you're 3 months pregnant, maybe that might give you a better chance of delivering that baby in a very healthy fashion. Just maybe. Okay. And that can go for any racial group. It's like, well, maybe if you weren't hooked on fentanyl, maybe the baby might come out not being a heroin baby, crack baby, or whatever. So I'm not really understanding what the purpose of giving somebody money is. If you're in a situation where you have an unhealthy lifestyle and that's contributing to you having a difficult pregnancy, what is money going to do? You see, if a person is healthy, the money is not necessarily as relevant. Or if they live a healthy lifestyle, the money is not as relevant. And, how about this? Here's a novel idea. How about this one? How about get married before you have a baby? Get married, have a commitment between two people, and then have the baby, rather than trying to be out here grinding, going hard with no man in sight. It's no man in sight. There's no man right there. You just on your own having a bunch of babies. You got 18 kids with 35 fathers, and you just out here just doing whatever. Of course, you're going to have a hard time because you're not living right to begin with. That's the main thing people got to understand. It's just like people that want to lose weight. And if you are overweight or obese right now, I'm not trying to attack you. Don't take this personal, but you can tighten yourself up. You can improve your life right now. I ain't trying to be a motivational speaker, but I'm just telling you the reality. I lost a lot of weight at one point too. I was like about 280, 290. Now I'm about 215 right now, and I'm about 6'3". So I'm kind of lean a little bit. But at one point I was getting to be like, washed up football player that didn't quite get on the pro team, had to go play like an arena football and then got injured. I was leaning into that territory. I was leaning into the territory of going to DXL, big and tall, having shoes that are like at a 45-degree angle when I walk. It was getting to be like that almost. But you know what I did? I tightened myself up and I got myself together, and I just became a responsible person, a responsible adult. Anybody can do it. But anyway, the whole thing with, obesity is a problem. People just eating whatever they want to eat, but you could change your lifestyle by not eating so much. People eat 3 meals a day, high fat, high carbohydrates, drinking all types of soda and drugs and all that together. It's a bad lifestyle. It don't take that much money to live a healthy lifestyle. People talking about healthy food costs a lot of money. No, it doesn't. Not really compared to eating 3 meals of junk per day. How much does that cost? How much does it cost to stuff 3 disgusting meals down your gullet every day? How much does that cost? It's like feeding the horse. it's like feeding a horse. You could eat fewer meals. You could eat less food that's healthy. Even if you paid more per food item, you're going to eat less of it, therefore buying less of it, therefore coming out cheaper or the same. You see what I'm saying? You're not a horse. You're not a hog out here just eating whatever. You are a human being, and you can tailor your diet to make yourself be the best version of yourself. So going back to the whole thing about California UBI with the pregnant black women because they have difficulties in pregnancy. Well, I think the main thing would be just having education, and not just for black, white, but for everybody, having better education when it comes to food. Remember the whole, what was that? The 5 food groups, the food pyramid. That was nothing more than just a marketing strategy for the food industry. It was just for them to market certain things to you. So you can eat cereal, talking about some, oh, it's healthy. Really? The cereal? What was it like? Processed corn? Like, what is cereal anyway? How is that like very healthy for you? I'm not really sure. I don't really get it. I mean, I'm not saying that Honey Nut Cheerios are super unhealthy. I'm not sure what their nutritional value is though. What kind of nutritional value is in a Honey Nut Cheerio? Okay, I taste cardboard. What's the nutritional value of cardboard? Y'all tell me in the comments what's going on with that. But if we just kind of retrain ourselves to live in a better fashion, and maybe before you get pregnant, have a commitment from some man, have 2 parents in a committed relationship, and hopefully a marriage, that'll solve a lot of the problems right there. Money is not the issue. The issue is people just not living correctly, and then they have negative consequences as a result. It's very simple, but I digress. The point is that I don't think it's a good idea for them to do this. Oh, and here's what they stated about UBI specifically. Hold on. Let me see if I can. I want to find. Oh, here's the language I wanted to find. So I didn't like the whole thing about UBI given to pregnant black women because it appeared to be an experiment, a human experiment. And they do things like this. They'll put something out there and see how it works. They'll test it on you to see what's going on. It looks like you're a guinea pig. Like rather than testing makeup and physical products on you, they'll test social programs on you to see how it works. Just like a few years ago when they cut off the EBT cards. Remember that? They cut off the EBT food stamp cards for like an hour. It wasn't that long. It might have been up to 8 hours. It wasn't even an entire day. I think it might have been on a Sunday. It wasn't the first of the month. It was like a random day during the month. They cut it off for an hour or so, maybe up to 8 hours. In that period of time, there was fights that broke out. Oh, it was nuts. It was almost a riot. So I think that was an experiment to see, okay, what are they going to do if the EBT cards get cut off? What's going to be the result? Let's do it, and then let's study the results. It was an experiment, in my humble opinion. Same thing with C-19, another experiment. Oh, let's see, what are they going to do if we say you got to wear a mask, stay home? Like, what are they going to do if we just put out some ridiculous, crazy nonsense and have the federales come out there and back it up? What are they going to do about that? How are they going to react? I think it's an experiment, even if not intentionally done as such. It is that because this behavior shall be studied. This behavior shall be logged in somebody's book. It sure is. It's probably a book out right now where they studied the behavior and they did a deep, detailed analysis on said behavior. Absolutely. So here's language I wanted to get to about the whole thing of UBI. Okay. So here's a statement from Zia Malawa. And before I get into that, hold on. Before I read the actual statement from the director of Expecting Justice, one of the two NGOs, that's non-governmental organizations that are involved with this whole UBI thing. A lot of these NGOs, they come out there and say, hey, we're for the little guy. We're for people of color. We're for women. We're for trans folks. We're for trans kids, all this and that and the third. They say all these things, but really they're just trying to get money. They're trying to get donations. They're trying to get state dollars. They're trying to get money, period. They don't care what they do. They're evil organizations. I mean, you got groups out there that try to steal your kids and sell them. Like when you have hurricanes or earthquakes. Remember the earthquake in Haiti that happened a few years ago? It was disastrous. It was monstrous what they showed on TV. They were showing bodies in bulldozers. It was a mess. But anyway, there was a group running around, some kind of organization claiming to be Christian. I'm not saying they were, so please don't get offended. But they were claiming to be Christian, and then they were going around just picking up kids, and the parents would give the kids to the people because the thought process was, okay, we had this devastating earthquake. We can't take care of the kids. So let's give the kids to this nice Christian organization and they'll take care of them. But there's an ulterior motive. These kids are being trafficked. You think that it's one thing, but it's really something else. It comes across as being altruistic and nice and helpful and hopeful, but really all you're doing is just providing an avenue for you to give your own kids into human trafficking. Same thing with these NGOs. They come across as nice and helpful and warm and inviting, trying to help black women, but really they're going to profit off of the dysfunction of black women and the black family by giving them money, by conducting an experiment to see how it's going to work. It's probably an experiment they want to do to see, okay, if we just give them cash money and the benefits, how is that going to help with the crime? Like, that's probably the thought process from some big brain person in California, some person in the state government, perhaps, maybe in the federales. So they're using these groups to do it. The groups get money. They don't really care about the experiment. They're all about getting the money first. That's kind of what it boils down to. Black Lives Matter, same thing. They don't really care about social justice and black stuff. You got the leaders don't even like black men. The only time they like black men is when the black man dies. The leaders hate black men so much. They're all women, by the way. They hate black men so much. One of them got with a white man who is really a white woman. They hate men. They hate men so much and black men so much. One of them got with a white woman who is disguised as a white man. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. You look like Bette Midler in your regular everyday Meemaw DMV employee clothing, and then you become Robin Williams or Joe Pesci or Danny DeVito in your dude clothes. You understand? It's nuts. Matter of fact, can I find a picture right quick of this person, Alicia Garza, and her husband, whatever they want to call this person? Okay, and when you see the picture, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. You're going to see what I'm saying here. Matter of fact, this looks like an adult child version of Robert De Niro. And you're going to see what I'm talking about right here. Hold on. So there you go. I see Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, one of the fat guys from The Sopranos, but as a young version. It's like they put a filter on the person to make them appear to be younger. You see what I'm saying? So this is actually a white woman right here. And the lady right there, that's Alicia Garza, one of the founders of Black Lives Matter. So when she says blackity black power, all this and that, it's just a way to get money. It's just a way to build a real estate portfolio. It's not real. The same thing with Expecting Justice and these NGOs in California trying to quote unquote help black women with UBI. It's not about helping them. It's about helping themselves. And we have this great initiative we're trying to do. We're trying to give black women universal basic income. Can you please donate to us? We're a 501c3. It'd be a tax write-off. Meanwhile, they get the money first. They spend it on whatever they want to spend it on. And then they give the rest to whoever. And they take state money at the same time. And that'll probably be the pot where the money gets doled out from. And whatever they get in donations to keep for themselves, put it in their own personal pocket, paying for expenses, paying for trips to Bora Bora, Bahamas. They could be hanging out with your man, Sam Bankman-Fried. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, shout out to 14-year-old Robert De Niro. But let's go back to the language. I did not forget about the language. So here's the language speaking about the California black women, the pregnant black women UBI. Quote, this funding will provide pregnant people, notice their language, pregnant people, not just women, pregnant people, quote unquote, with economic stability during this critical phase in their lives while allowing public health institutions to test a novel and promising public health intervention. Test. One more time. This funding will provide pregnant people with economic stability during this critical phase in their lives while allowing public health institutions to test a novel and promising public health intervention. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I don't like being a guinea pig. And I'm sure that a black woman in California, she don't be a guinea pig either. I mean, she might not really care. A lot of them don't, it's like, okay, I get free money just for being pregnant. All right, cool. But if you are given the option to be a guinea pig, like if they were to say, hey, you want to be a guinea pig, you want to be a test subject, you want to be a crash test dummy, okay, go ahead. That'd be that. And the reason why I know it's not going to work because welfare doesn't work. Welfare incentivizes fatherlessness and incentivizes destructive behavior and incentivizes dependence on the government and incentivizes laziness and incentivizes just negativity and inability to get out of that negativity. You're just going to be stuck right there forever. You have generational poverty rather than trying to create generational wealth, but it is what it is. So yeah, racist check because it's only for one racial group. Non-effective check. It's going to be more welfare. Welfare doesn't work at all. And also demeaning. It's going to be an experiment, a human trial, if you will. Like I said, I don't know about y'all, but I'm not interested in being part of a human trial. But I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. We have sky high inflation going on right now, and the Fed to raise the interest rate. what they said, like 50 basis points, if I'm not mistaken. So it's weird how they're reporting on this. So the interest rate before this rate hike was at 4.0%. And now they're saying the range is between 4.25 and 4.5. I'm like, what? If they raise 50 basis points, that's 0.5%. That's 0.50. So the new rate should be 4.5, not 4.25, but not between 4.25 and 4.5. It's 4.5. And at one point, the interest rate was around 0. And the reason they're raising the interest rate is because they are manipulating currency. Without getting too deep into it, I don't want to be too a big brained and be wrong at the same time if I am wrong. And if I know better, let me know in the comments below. Please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But here's what's happening. So they put so much fake money out there in the market from all the C-19 stuff, all the STEMI checks and the PPP loans. They put so much cash out there. It just created an unnatural situation. People are awash in all this money and they want to spend it. They want to go do things. They want to buy things. But the problem is there's not enough supply to meet the demand of the artificial money, because the money was not created through actual production. The money was created through the printing press. The money was just invented out of nowhere. At least normally money comes from productivity for the most part. Yes, it comes from debt. Like it's created by banks, by debt, giving out mortgages and loans and whatnot. But it's created by something that was done, by some measure that was done, by a good credit score, by a new home that was built, by something that made sense economically. Okay, we're building new homes right here because there's jobs out here. People are moving to this area because there's jobs out here. They want to work remote, whatever it is. Okay, we're going to build homes right here. And this guy's going to get a loan to buy a house. He put his own cash money down on it. You can't get a loan for your down payment. That's got to be your personal cash. So you have personal cash. You put it on a down payment, take out a loan, and cash is created that way through the debt process, because your cash ain't nothing but debt. But anyway, you create money through actual productivity from activity in the economy for the most part. But when they just print it, it doesn't match the activity in the economy. Therefore, the economy can't keep up. So what happens is you got to raise prices to lower the demand. If I'm selling, bottles of water, right? I'm selling bottles of water and I'm selling them for $2 a piece, right? Now, when people make a median income of $35,000 in the country, well, men make about $35,000 median, or $38,000. Women make about $25,000 median. Household is different, but let's just say it's 38, and overnight it jumps to 50 or 45 or some higher amount of money. Now I can't keep the bottles of water on the shelf because everybody has so much money to keep just buying my water. I can't stay in business because I can't keep up with the demand. You see what I'm saying? Now things are so prosperous that I can't stay in business. So what do I do to stay in business? I raise my prices. That's inflation. So rather than $2, now it's $4. I'm still getting sales, but it's now more manageable. That's how it works. And with the interest rates, all that's going to do is create more inflation, which is going to kind of ease the pressure on the supply chain. You see what I'm saying? So you'll be able to actually function as a business and you won't be so awash in this fake money. That's what's happening right now. They're trying to make the dollar worth what it should be. Right now, it's worth less than what it should be because there's so many dollars out there floating around. Raising the interest rates just makes things more expensive, therefore making the dollar in essence stronger, I suppose. But to me, that's currency manipulation 101. Same thing with print all the money. That's also currency manipulation. When you print a bunch of money, it makes the dollar worth less than what it is. And when you raise rates, it makes it worth more than what it is. Either way, you kind of manipulate in the dollar. It should be a natural thing. All right. Productivity, getting paid for your productivity, and then paying back into the economy. But what we have right now is print, spend, rate hike. When are they going to stop raising interest rates? It's going to have to get to like 8, 9, 10%, I think. Oh, and the rent. Yeah, homes are very expensive. People talking about rent or buy. That's a very good question. If that was a question that was asked, I see the chat discussion. If you were to ask me right now, would I rent or buy? I would say rent right now because homes are way too expensive. It's ridiculous. Like, okay, little inside baseball here. I bought my home in 2020 for below 400. I'll say that. Below 400, right? Now it's worth over 550 in a 2-year period of time. Below 400, I bought it in 2020. Now it's worth 550. And part of me is like, yo, just sell and cash out on the equity. But if I do that, where am I going to live? Am I going to rent an apartment? That's what I would have to do. Because if I buy another house, it's going to be, I'll end up paying more. Because not only did I buy it for below 400 and now it's worth above 550, the rate is also going to be higher than it was when I bought it. I bought my house for below 400 at a 3% interest rate. Now you're talking about 6%, 7%, 8% perhaps, and at 550. So more expensive and you're paying more in interest. And that little bit of difference in the interest rate means a lot on your monthly payment. So my same house, like I'm going to do a calculator. I know I've done it before, but I'm going to do it one more time for you guys in the chat that have not seen this. Okay. Let's time for the mortgage calculator, right? Let's do this. I'm going to show you guys the difference between a house at, let's say 400,000. Hold on. Let's do it this way. 400,000 for the house. I'll put it up right here so you can see me doing it. All right. Shout out to all the math nerds in the chat. Shout out to all the, the guys like me that are nerds. So here's your mortgage right here, right? 400,000 for the mortgage. Well, we're not going to do down payment and stuff like that. We're just going to put it at 400,000 because technically your mortgage amount is what you would finance minus your down payment. But let's not even get into all that right now. So 400,000 interest rate is definitely not going to be 4.5. It's going to be more like, what I say, probably about 7 right now, I think maybe 7% interest rate. Okay. State tax, Fed tax. That's not really important. All right. So your mortgage would be 26, 61, 21. So pretty decent mortgage right there. Now let's see this same. That's actually pretty low for 7%, 400,000. That's probably not even really accurate. But let's just say it's at 3% interest rather than 7% interest for your rate on the mortgage. It drops $1,000 a month. $1,000 drop in your monthly payment from a 3% interest rate to 7% interest rate. So 2661 to 1686. Just for that right there. So, okay, now just for that same price, now look at it. Like let's say this is what I pay, this is totally off, but it's a good visualization because it'd be more than that actually. It'd probably be right around $2,000 for this, but I digress. So let's say for the mortgage it's $550 at 3% in a 2-year period because the price of the house raised up and the interest rate raised up as well. So, and then that's cheap totally if you're going to be in California, forget about it. If you're living in California, just move. California, like, okay, I've seen prices in Los Angeles and the big cities, the big areas, the big counties. How about even the small county? Like, how about like way up Northern California? How about Inland Empire, like San Bernardino, is it still high up there for real estate, or is it just only in the big cities? Y'all let me know. But it's probably it's probably a statewide issue because of all the taxes in the state, not only in the counties but in the state as well. Not only in the cities and the counties but the state. It's a big thing with the prices. If you're living in Los Angeles in the ghetto, you're living in Inglewood somewhere, Watts, Compton, you live in somewhere like that, you're paying $550 for a house that has 1,200 square feet, 1 bathroom, 2 bedrooms, bars on the window, bullet holes in the door, pit bulls everywhere. You'll be paying $550 for a bando, an abandoned home almost. $700,000 in South Central, crazy. Look, I'm in like a suburban area. I got nice neighbors. People walking their dog. It's no crime. I could leave my whole door open and it won't nothing happen. I could leave my door open. The most that happen is a dog will just roll up on my door and sniff and bark and walk and go away. I live in a beautiful neighborhood. My house costs less than $400,000. Now, $400,000 in California, you forget about it. $400K in California gets you a shoebox. It gets you a shoebox. But anyway, my whole point is that the interest rates have been raised up by the Fed from 4.0 to about 4.5. They're saying between 4.25 and 4.5, but I think it's going to be 4.5. All right, that's kind of what it is. I'm not in the hills right now, actually, but there's a bunch of hills by me, and I could live in those houses. It wouldn't cost that much more, actually. It wouldn't be that bad, but I just wanted to be more modest and not have such an expensive home or not pay that much. Like, I put it to you this way. I paid less than $400 for my house right now, but those houses that are in like a real, like kind of like gated, hilly areas, you get it for like $550, $600 back then. But now, probably $800,000, $900,000, maybe $1 million. Maybe $1 million. I'm watching HGTV and they're doing stuff talking about, oh, well, our budget is $2 million. You know, I count frog hair legs for a living. And my wife, she over here, she watches after newborn baby ducks for a living. And our budget is $2 million. I'm like, this is completely nuts. Completely nuts. And the houses look okay, but $2 million, I mean, come on. I think that's kind of ridiculous. So to get back to the question that was kind of floating around the chat earlier, if you're looking to get a home right now, rent, don't buy right now. Try to rent for as low as possible. Get roommates or whatever you got to do, potentially. Rent as low as possible and save money. And then when the market crashes, which it will crash, when the market crashes, you go out and buy then. But these high interest rates, but you know what? That could be bad advice. So don't take my word for it, because I've heard from real estate professionals that say it's not going to come down. Will the interest rates go back down to what they were when Trump came in or when Trump left office at 0%? Will you have the supply chain get fixed anytime soon? Because the housing prices are caused by demand being very high because of so much capital being out there in the hands of regular everyday normies. Then you have the supply chain shortages from all over the world, not just China, but U.S., Europe, south of the border, everywhere. Okay, you got your lumber, it's going to cost a lot. Your steel, all of that. You know, it's a lot going on. So labor shortage, supply chain shortage, interest rates, inflation, all of that is going to contribute to a very high market that might not come down anytime. Even if it does crash, will it crash and burn, or will it just kind of dip? If it just dips, is it going to be that much better than what it is right now? I'm not really sure. I think it will kind of correct, but I'm not sure it'll go all the way back to where it was. So y'all let me know. Boston says it can take a long time if it crashes slowly. It might crash slowly. Yes. Oh, some are going to say how much for a condo. I wouldn't buy a condo. My dad had a condo in Virginia, and he was telling me about the pros and cons of it. My dad had a condo. He had two condos. He had he had townhouses, condos, regular house. When we first came to VA, we had a trailer, like a double wide trailer. My dad had this big F-150 or some kind of truck back then in the 80s, and he hitched the trailer up to that and like true hillbillies should be coming around. That was us back then with a single wide, double wide trailer. Okay. Parked it right there, Newport News on Jefferson and Mercury in the trailer park. It's still right there today, 30 some years later. But anyway, he had all types of stuff. But when he had the condos, he was telling me that the thing about condos is if your neighbor floods the hallway, you got to pitch in to fix it, or else you be kicked out. If the roof collectively has a problem, like basically, it's like like communism a little bit. The problems your neighbors face, you face as well. You got to contribute to fixing it. So, I mean, it's pros and cons. Personally, I wouldn't do a condo. I'd rather rent an apartment than own a condo. Personally, if I'm going to own a house, it'd be single family, non-detached. But for right now, I would rent personally. That's just me. Because same thing with an attached home. Your neighbor's in there cooking meth or whatever. I mean, it gets crazy. I'd rather have my own single family home, even if I'm like right next to my neighbor. It's better than having an attached home, a condo, or something like that. All right. Yeah, so that's pretty much what it is. So shout out to all the trailers though. Yeah, but we had a trailer. My dad owned land back in West Virginia. He owned the land the trailer was on. And then when he came to Virginia, we came to Virginia, he just took the trailer with him and parked it down in Newport News. Off the mountain, it was crazy. All right. Hold on. 876 Van Red says, wait a minute. You're going to get kicked out because of some leak in the ceiling or something? Who is the supervisor in that piece of crap place? Well, a condo. See, in a condo, if there's an issue that needs to get fixed, you have to contribute financially. And if you don't contribute financially, then you're in violation of your contract. It's right there, black and white. If the hallway gets flooded, if the roof needs to get fixed, if the front entrance or front gate is malfunctioning, you got to kick in. That's part of the whole deal of a condo. Now, if you want to do that, I suggest renting an apartment. Because if you rent an apartment, you're not responsible for externalities. You're only responsible for what you cause. And sometimes not even that. Because you could cause some type of issue in the apartment and just call maintenance and they'll fix it. But if you got a condo, it's like having a house inside of a house that you got to pay for with roommates who have their own room. That's kind of how it is. So it's like a good deal from the outside. Oh, I could own this and it's not that expensive and it's all I need, right? I'm a bachelor. I got just me and my dog. Okay. But then look at the hidden fees. So it is what it is. Yeah. If you're living in the woods right now, living in the country and you're kind of self-sufficient, you're winning. If you live like farm type lifestyle right now, you're winning for sure. If you're living in the city or something like that, oh man. It's going to be rough. Almost as rough as Cyndi Lauper singing on the White House lawn. Check it out. Let's get some sound and let's not break your eardrums.
Don't be discouraged, though I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all in the darkness so inside you make you so.
There you go. Cyndi Lauper on the White House lawn. Hopefully they don't try to strike me on that. You know, that's live music. So yeah, if you guys coming from the 80s and you miss Cyndi Lauper, well, there you go. White House lawn, singing for your man, Creepy Joe. And she gave like a speech or something. Well, she gave some remarks in front of, I think, the press corps. I think, Corinne Jean-Pierre was speaking and then she let Cyndi Lauper come up there, give a few words, talking about how good of a job that Creepy Joe and them are doing. And then she just sang a few words after the inflation report right there on the White House lawn. So shout out Cyndi Lauper, a legend, of course, but kind of cringe right there. All righty. I see her in those commercials. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I see her in those commercials for, what's that, like eczema or something. I see her in that a lot. But yeah, shout out to her. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. I'd appreciate it a lot. Now, I kind of want to switch gears away from the real estate topic. You know, I might talk about that kind of stuff a little bit more on a separate channel because I'm interested in real estate and money and things of that nature. I've done pretty well for myself when it comes to finances, just understanding how to handle my stuff and where to put what and what to do and how to time certain things. Because I timed my house purchase perfectly. I felt it coming. In 2020, I felt it. I was like, I need to buy a house right now. I got cash sitting around, and I felt like it was uneasy during 2020, during the pandemic. I was like, man, I need to put this money somewhere because it's gonna come a time where the money becomes devalued with all this stuff going on. I felt it. It was instinctual. And sure enough, I did right. I never leave here. It's to the point where I put it to you this way. I could have two houses almost, or I could have this house and an apartment and still pay less than what I would pay for this house now with the new mortgage with today's rates. It's crazy. But anyway, let's move forward here. So we got to talk about your man getting fired. What's my man's name? Sam Brinton. He, him, they, them, she, her, whatever their pronouns are, right? So first things first, let's look at Sam Brinton. Let's look at how this person normally looks. All right. Really, really extra. Bald head, hot red lipstick, all that good stuff. Not my cup of tea. You understand what I'm saying? That's not really what I'm interested in. You know, I can't really do too much for you, Big Sam. Looking like Matt Damon's evil twin brother. All right. Hold on. Let's check him out. So Sam Brinton, this guy was part of the Biden administration and the Department of Energy dealing with nuclear waste. All right. That's him right there in the red dress. And you see a cameo right there on the right-hand side. That is Irvin Jr. Okay. I know Irvin Johnson is. Magic Johnson, that's his son right there. As big as he is too. Magic is like 6'7", 6'8". This guy, his son is the same size. What's up with these basketball players and their sons just going a different direction? Like, what is the deal with that? I'm not really sure. But anyway, that's your man right there, Sam Brinton. And then that's him again, of course. And then, you know, throwing a mustache in there for a little bit of confusion. Okay, you got the 1972 adult film star mustache popping off, right? That's your man. Looking like Krillin, Krillin, Kid Buu, Dragon Ball Z, Matt Damon, all that good stuff. Now, there's a mugshot we have, and let's put it on the screen right quick. And it's funny, you know what? The reason why I showed those pictures just now is to show you the contrast between how he normally presents himself and then when he goes to jail, all of a sudden, that's him. Oh, okay. So all that, you know, gender non-conforming, all this stuff right here. Well, where is that guy? Where is that guy when it's time to go to the penitentiary, huh? Where is that guy at? Now, you know, part of me thinks that all of this non-binary stuff is a game. It's just bogus. It's not really real. It's just him trying to just make a name for himself, him trying to get money. You look like Matt Damon for real right here. You and Matt Damon, you could be Matt Damon's body double. If you know how to do stunts, you know how to roll, you know how to fall and don't hurt your back and your wrists and your elbows and all that, you can be Matt Damon's stunt double, sir. Okay. Jason Bourne looking dude. That's you. Jason Bourne, your action adventure hero. Where's all the accoutrements of your gender identity at? I see a regular dude right here. I think a lot of this non-binary stuff is just pretend. It's just pretend. It's not really real. But regardless of what, he has been fired by the Biden administration, surprisingly. He has made an appearance before court. The judge said, stay out of trouble. He'll probably get released, and he probably won't be held on. He probably won't be held. They probably won't remand him. They probably won't remand him for the bag theft. So they're like, hey, man, stay out of trouble. Stop stealing women's clothes. Stop wearing them. But they gave him a mugshot, and he's being fired by the Biden administration. Now, do you think he's going to go to jail, though? Will he go to jail? Y'all let me know, because what he did is actually a felony offense, or it could be. And the penalty is you pay some money, like a fine for like $10,000 and 5 years in the penitentiary, or I want to say either or, a fine and or 5 years in the joint. Now, will he go to the penitentiary for this? I don't think so, because first of all, he has a whole non-binary act going on. I'm not sure if that's real, but I digress. He has a whole non-binary act going on. Then he has the whole thing about being part of the Biden administration. At least he was part of the Biden administration. So I don't think they want to put him in jail. That'd be kind of a national security risk. He is a security risk already, but putting him in the joint might not be good for them. So will he go to the joint, or will he just stay free and pay the fine or whatever? Y'all let me know. Is he getting Epstein? Oh man, I don't think so. It probably won't be that serious. No, he's not. His name is not Sam Bankman-Fried. That's a whole different guy right there. This is Jason Bourne. Matt Damon. Sam Brinton. So no jail time at all. Pay the fine. Oh, you want a poll for this? Okay. So let me see if I can do the poll right quick. Will Sam Brinton? Okay. So the question is, will Sam Brinton go to prison? And it'll be yes or no. Real simple. I'll leave it up for a while, and I'll report the results after it's done. So that should be up right now. There we go. And it'll kind of cover the screen over here a little bit. Y'all got to pardon me. I can't change that. I can't adjust it over there. So it just is what it is. It'll be up there like that for a while. All right. I know about Airline, Anthony. I know about Airline Boulevard. Yep. I used to live off Airline back in the day. I used to live off Airline in Greenwood Drive. It was these apartments called what was the apartments called? Hodges Manor? Yeah. I say there's so many apartments. It's apartment here, apartment there. Yeah. But I was little. I probably was like 8, 9 years old. I was a little kid. So yeah, shout out to Airline. But that was in Portsmouth though. I ain't stay in Chesapeake Park. I know what that's at. You talking about like over there. I ain't stay over there. All right. So yeah, shout out to Hampton, Newport News, all that good stuff. I'm just reading the chat a little bit right there. But yeah, we'll see how the whole thing goes. Some early results. People are saying, nope, he won't go. I'll give you guys the final results in a little bit as far as will Sam Brinton, the non-binary nuclear code haver, possibly, and serial bag thief, will he go to the penitentiary? This guy's nuts, though. This dude, like my man said, he probably was sizing women up in the actual airport and or on the plane to see if they fit his body type, and then seeing what bag they come in the airport with. He probably be posted up at a certain place inside the airport and watching them come in. A creep, but I digress. I think there was ways to detect that guy might be a creep before he became part of the federal government. You think there's maybe it might have been a few clues there that kind of tip you off. Anyway, speaking about guys getting locked up, Sam Bankman-Fried, SBF, formerly of FTX, the cryptocurrency exchange, he has been locked up in the Bahamas. Now, this is very perplexing, but at the same time, not really. You see, SBF, and this is a point I kind of missed in my video, and you guys in the chat pointed it out right away. But SBF was going to testify in front of Congress. He was going to testify, and it was going to be, it was a House and or Senate. Was it the House Finance Committee? They were going to question him for hours in person, or no? He said he was gonna do it on Zoom from the Bahamas because he was so booked. He was swamped, right? He was so swamped he can't get on the plane from the Bahamas, which is right there across the U.S. Like the Bahamas is right there. The plane ride wouldn't take no time. But we'll get you a PJ private jet. We'll fly you from the Bahamas to New York or wherever. It took you about 3 hours. It ain't gonna take that long. I promise. oh, I'm so booked right now, I can't really do anything. I got to have a virtual meeting. All right, whatever. You want to stay in the Bahamas because you didn't want to be in the U.S. and get caught up by the federales, because the feds will get you right there on U.S. soil. As soon as you land, you be put in federal custody. That's why he didn't want to come to the U.S. And he's trying to fight extradition right now to the U.S. because the way it works, I'm going to get to the whole thing about testifying and whatnot, but since the Bahamas have him right now, they have to extradite him to the U.S. Bahamas is a sovereign country that's not part of the U.S. They had to send him to the U.S. So there has to be a request from the U.S. to send him to the U.S. Now, as far as I know, the request has not been sent yet from New York. Maybe they're waiting. I don't know what's going on. But the Bahamian officials have arrested him, and he's in jail right now in the Bahamas. And he's crying, talking about some, oh, well, he's crying, talking about, I'm in the jail and they got maggots and rats. It's like, well, you are in you're in like-minded company. That's your people right there. Maggots and mats, that's you. So you should fit right in. Why complain about a thing like that when you stole allegedly billions of dollars from people, from normies? I ain't talking about just the big wigs. The big wigs didn't really get hurt. They did, like Kevin O'Leary. I'm talking about some of the big wigs, the people that really invested into this and pulled their money out. The big investors, for the most part, did not get hurt. Who understood the game? It was like a big pump and dump. Okay, let's get all these fake coins and all this fake money and fake investment up real high to the tune of billions. And when these coins get pumped up so much, when the money gets pumped up so much, we're going to take our real money we invested and profits out. So if you're just a regular dude who put in $100,000, $2,000, and that was all your money you had to your name, oh, well, you lost that. Kevin O'Leary lost a bunch of money. Let me see if I can find this video. Now, you guys may or may not know Kevin O'Leary. He, I think, is a private equity investor, if I'm not mistaken. He's on Shark Tank, and he put a bunch of money into FTX, Alameda Research. Alameda Research was the hedge fund, and that was headed up by SBF's former girlfriend, Carolyn Ellison, and they both look completely ridiculous. Hold on. You talking about, they look worse than the cast of Scooby-Doo. Like, if you brought Scooby-Doo characters in cartoon form to represent FTX, they look more credible than these morons right here. Hold on. I wouldn't give one of these numbnuts, I would not give any one of these Nimrods 1 red cent of my hard-earned money. I wouldn't do it. You come to the meeting showing up like this. Hold on. Let me get 1 second. Okay. I'm gonna show Sam Bankman-Fried, and then I'm gonna show the girlfriend. Y'all give me 1 second. Yeah. So SBF, Sam is trying to blame the girlfriend because she was the one that was heading up Alameda Research. But the problem is that Sam admitted that he was allowing money to funnel through the hedge fund to go to FTX, talking about we didn't have bank accounts, and people were trying to wire us money, so they gave it to Alameda Research first so we can get it. It's like, okay, is that what you did? Is that legal? Can you do that? I don't think so. If I give to a hedge fund, I gave to a hedge fund, not to no cryptocurrency exchange, only for you to take the money I give you and give it right back to FTX, or keep it over there to keep that whole thing going, and then put that money into high risk investments. Not what I signed up for. I signed up for cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, your coin, his coin, their coin, Pokemon coin, not for speculative investments, not for your own personal real estate, not for your mom to get a salary, not for your dad to get a salary. But that's what he did. This man stole billions of dollars, a complete mess. Hold on. Let me put the pictures up, because I didn't forget about that part. So let's put up Carolyn Ellison, and then we're going to put up SBF. Why can I not find a picture that I want? Like, why is that so difficult? Maybe she's not really photogenic, perhaps. I don't know. Okay, there we go. So there's Carolyn. So this person right here, 28-year-old Carolyn Ellison, was CEO of Alameda Research, the hedge fund. Now, I don't know about y'all. I'm saying, like, I'm not trying to attack her looks. It's not even about, is she attractive? It's not even about that. That's not even relevant. It's, does she appear to be credible? Would you give her money? You see what I'm saying? You could be attractive and still, I would not give you 1 red cent. So it's not even about how does she look good? I don't care nothing about that. But we're talking about money. Like, you got to appear to be somebody that makes sense for me to give money to. This person right here does not appear to be serious. Okay, you washed your hair 5 seconds ago. You just saying, yo, forget a blow dryer. I'm not going to do it. We got the wet dog going on. This is a whole lot happening right here in this picture. I'm not giving you, hey, check it out. I'm not giving you 1 red cent of my hard-earned money. No way, no how. No way, Jose. And same thing for her boyfriend, Sam. Put a pair of pants on, sir. You got short pants on. I refuse to give you $1. He reminds me of the Ukrainian president, Zelensky, not wearing a shirt out here looking like he about to go do your weekend warrior reserve training for the Coast Guard. It's like, sir, can you put on a shirt? Can you put on a shirt and a pair of pants and a tie? Not even a jacket, a shirt and a tie. It's basic stuff. Matter of fact, if you on the Zoom call, Zelensky or Sam, you could put on a half like a cowboy tux. You could be business waist up and party pants down. You could have your drawers on up under the camera, but at least have the appearance of a guy that's serious. Short pants, wrinkled shirt, disheveled, mustache everywhere. I'm not giving you no money. If you want to appear to look like that and work at Sam's Club, I don't care. But I'm giving you billions of dollars? Nah. Nope. So anyway, he has been arrested in the Bahamas and they have denied him bail. So I think the Bahamas might want to get their piece of the pie. You know what? You know what I think? Here's what I think. Here's what I think happened. He was going to testify, speaking about Sam Bankman-Fried, he was going to testify before Congress on the left and the right because he gave like $40 million to the Democrats, but also Republicans, but more Democrats. He was trying to buy influence in the federal government. He was trying to buy politicians. I'm sure he's purchased Maxine Waters. She kissed him. Hold on. Did y'all see Maxine Waters kiss this boy? This is before the whole House of Cards fell apart, but she kissed him. So I'm sure she got some money. I'm sure she did. Her daughter did as well. She already has a whole thing going on with a bunch of improprieties with her campaign funds. Okay. So for her to get involved with this guy would not be a stretch. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the kiss. Wait a minute. Can I find it? Hold on. Oh no, pardon me. She didn't kiss him. She blew him a kiss. Let me correct myself. She blew him a kiss. Okay. So let's check it out. You guys got to look very closely. All right. So you see Maxine, maybe you don't. That's her right there on the center left of the frame in this red, orange looking Mao Zedong looking pants, dress suit, right? And a James Brown wig, of course. You see her right there. And Sam Bankman-Fried has on their book bag. Easy to identify a guy with a book bag on. Whenever has a suit on. He appears to have on a jacket at least, which is good. But he's wearing the book bag. Now watch what she does. Blew him a kiss. And waves. Now, why would you blow this boy a kiss? For what? Why? Do you love cryptocurrency so much? Do you love FTT coin? Do you love hedge funds so much? Or is it because he gave you some money, Maxine Waters? That might make more sense. He did give $40 million to the Democratic Party. He was the second biggest donor to the Democratic Party outside of George Soros himself. The second biggest Democratic Party donor. And what was that, in 2021, if I'm not mistaken, or this year, 2022, whenever it was. He's only been around since 2019 when Joe Biden announced he's going to run. Oh, and also SBF's mom, Barbara Fried, is a Democratic Party bundler. She's a big piece of the Democratic Party's fundraising. His mom, Sam's mom. So he has 2 lawyers for parents. His mom is involved with the Democratic Party as far as campaign fundraising. Sam gives the second most to the Democratic Party out of anybody in the whole world outside of George Soros, and ain't nobody getting no kickback, ain't nobody getting no money. There wasn't a motivation to arrest him before the testimony before Congress, because if he testifies, then he might say, hey, you know what? I gave X amount of money to Maxine Waters, or to that person, or to this person, or to that person. I mean, y'all let me know what's going on. Am I right, wrong, indifferent, or what's happening? Okay. Yeah, all about all about that money. Now, I don't think he's going to get Epsteined because it's too high profile of a case. If he gets Epstein, it won't be in the Bahamas. No, because they don't want that smoke. If he gets Epstein in the Bahamas, you're talking about some Day the Jackal type. You're talking about somebody had to break in, and like it'd be a little bit different. I don't think that it would be. I don't think it would be the Bahamians that would kill him. It'd be some, super merc that is like an X-Men type character to come in there and do something like that. I don't think it would be, just regular Charles from Nassau that would go in there and ice him. But I digress. I have more video from the whole SBF situation, and y'all just hang tight with me. And if you like what you're hearing so far, y'all please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And I got a Maxine Waters video too, speaking about SBF a little bit more. So let me see. And I got a Kevin O'Leary video talking about the monies. Do I have that? I should have that. Y'all give me a second while I look for that. Because there was one video I saw where Kevin O'Leary was talking about, yo, where's the money at? Where is the money? I gotta find that one because that was pretty good. Oh, okay. Hold on. So here we go. Kevin O'Leary. Let's see some of this because this was kind of a mess. All right, let's go ahead and roll it up on the screen. Get some sound.
Binance is a massive, unregulated global monopoly now.
So, okay, Binance is another crypto exchange, very similar to FTX. Basically the same thing. Now he's trying to snitch on Binance to take them down too. That's all this is. He's trying to snitch on them. He's trying to say, well, hey, look into Binance. They're trash too. And I think there was a big run on Binance today. They took out like $1 billion and some dollars in coins and whatnot from Binance. Like I said, it's like the same thing as FTX was. Also a house of cards. But the thing about Binance is they did not do some of the more ridiculous things that FTX did and Sam did. Put money in real estate, commingling funds with a hedge fund. They didn't do that, from what I know.
They put FTX out of business. Binance.
Snitching. And it's not even, look, FTX did it to themselves. Did Binance put a gun to SBF's head and make him invest in the real estate? Did they put a gun to his head and make him commingle the money that the customers are giving them for futures and Bitcoin and FTT coin? Did they make him take that money and commingle it into a hedge fund and then engage in very high speculative investments? Did they make him take that money and give it to the Democratic Party to try and buy influence, to try and get fewer regulations, to try and get people to turn a blind eye to what he was doing? Was that Binance or was that Sam Bankman-Fried that did that? Kevin O'Leary. Kevin O'Leary, like I say, he's on Shark Tank. Y'all guys know who he is. He has a lot of money invested into this whole thing with FTX and whatnot. So he's trying to save his own money. He's trying to get his own money back. So if he can't get his own cash back, he'll take Binance down with him. Oh, look at them. They're bad too. That's what that was. That was pretty gross.
Why do you believe FTX failed?
I have an opinion. I don't have the records. Here it is. These two behemoths that own the unregulated market together and grew these incredible businesses in terms of growth were at war with each other. And one put the other out of business intentionally. Now, maybe there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe there's nothing wrong with love and war. But Binance is a massive, unregulated, global monopoly now.
So that's your man snitching. Hold on, there's more. So here's Maxine Waters trying to end the FTX hearing before every other member has a chance to speak. Why would you do that? Why would you try to end this hearing so early when we saw a video of her earlier blowing SBF a kiss in the chamber, in the House chamber, blowing them a kiss? Why? Why would you try to end the meeting in the hearing so early? Why would you do that? And I don't think Maxine Waters would try to call the Bahamas and be like, hey, can y'all arrest him right now and don't give him bail? Because if he gets arrested and he can't come out, then he can't come to the congressional hearing and testify on me.
Record the closing statements from Ranking Member McHenry and myself. And I'd like to thank you, Mr. John Ray III.
Chairwoman Waters.
For your presence here today.
Chairwoman Waters, I've not had an opportunity to testify or to question the witness.
I'd like to thank you for your presence.
Chairwoman Waters.
She's trying to end it. He's like, wait a minute. I didn't go yet. She's trying to like ignore him, like he's not saying anything. But it's like, wait a minute. We're not done here. You can't just end this. You want to end it, but you can't end it because you don't want anything to come out that make you look bad, which is going to come out. We've already seen it. So there's no point in trying to hide, Maxine.
And further to.
Parliamentary inquiry.
Yes.
Are all members entitled to question witnesses?
You are, and if you would like to miss the votes on the floor for everybody.
Hey, it's
just
the
one
chairwoman's
moment.
prerogative to call
Just
a recess.
one moment,
That's your
please.
decision, not mine.
Just one moment, please. You may go right ahead and have 5 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're certainly welcome, sir. Record the
Wow.
closing statements.
That was nuts. That was nuts. This is crazy. This whole thing is nuts. Like, you're going to see people just really just go crazy over all this stuff here. Okay, hold on. There's one more that I want to show you guys from Kevin O'Leary again.
If SBF knocked on your door again and said, look, I failed in my last venture. I have a new crypto venture. I need money. Would you back him?
That's a great question. No one's asked me yet. I think we can all admit, you can love him or hate him given what's happened, but he was one of the most brilliant traders in the crypto universe.
Was he?
He also built one of the most robust platforms. We used FTX actively. It was a very robust platform that allowed us to get information on a compliant basis. So I really like what he built.
Would you back him?
The answer would be yes.
Oh my goodness. So after all this fraud, after all this incompetence, you know that that FTX was doing their accounting on QuickBooks. Billions of dollars on QuickBooks. Huh? I would not give that boy 1 red cent. 1 red cent. I guess the website worked pretty well. The platform worked pretty well, but look at the business behind it. A complete mess. A complete mess. Scamming, bad books, just overall, just poorly run. A dumpster fire. I would not give that man 1 red cent. I mean, you have to gun a pistol to my head. I'm not giving you $1. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. But I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. I don't know about y'all, but if I'm managing, I don't know, $40 billion, I don't think QuickBooks would be what I use to handle my books. Maybe I have a team of accountants and lawyers and whatnot that do that and have a bunch of oversight and make sure everything's good and have IRS compliance. And I'm talking to the government, making sure everything's on point. Like Trump, they keep talking about Trump is a tax evader and whatnot. They've not gotten him on anything, you know. They've not gotten him on anything. They got one of his companies, but that's not Trump. That's not Donald Trump. That's a company that has Trump's name on it, but that's not Trump himself. They're trying to find 1040 EZ forms. It's like, man, come on. What you going to find on that? Not a thing. Wasting time. Trump is a tax compliant person. You got a whole team of lawyers and accountants that's been there for years to make sure that you're compliant. Because if there was something, they would get them on something. They get these rappers on tax evasion and send them to the penitentiary. Fat Joe, Wesley Snipes, these guys, they get caught up and they get sent to the joint. Martha Stewart got caught up on an insider trading charge. If they really wanted to get Trump, they would get Trump. If they don't want to get somebody, they won't get him. Okay, you got Martha Stewart; she go to jail for insider trading, but Mad Max does not go to the penitentiary for insider trading. Nancy Pelosi, same thing, no jail time for insider trading. But it's obvious that she's doing insider trading. Her and her husband, it's clear what they're doing. You have inside government knowledge, and you're actively trading on what you know. Not only on what you know, but also what you legislate. You put laws on the books, you vote on laws, and before the law goes into effect, you make moves that reflect the new law before it comes out. How does that make any sense? Is it not insider trading? Whatever. Whatever. So I'm gonna end this poll right here about Matt Damon, Kid Boo, Jason Bourne, Sam Brinton. Will they go to the penitentiary or not? It's a poll right there. You guys see it right to my left, your right of the screen. Will they go to prison? It's been up for a while. We got about 428 votes on it. And I'm going to end it and see what the results are. Thank y'all for participating in the poll. I appreciate you guys. The Initiate 110 says, I was an IT guy, worked for a small company that used QuickBooks, constantly breaking. Exactly. So a small company using QuickBooks, and that's that's a problem. So think about a multi-billion-dollar company based on finance, not just a small business that has finance as a part of it. Like, for example, it could be a small business of selling bricks and construction supplies, bricks, nails, stuff like that, miter saw, nail guns, things like that, supplies. You selling supplies, and all you want to do on QuickBooks is have your sales be tracked and make sure all your taxes are being paid, your sales tax and whatever. Okay, for QuickBooks, and it breaks on that. But then when your whole thing is based on numbers, really, buying and selling numbers, and you're using QuickBooks, come on. That's just kind of ridiculous. But anyway, so the results of the poll are, let me see. The results of the poll, okay. So you guys, it's pretty even. Actually, 2/3 think he won't go to prison, and 1/3 thinks he will go to prison. 33%, 66%, respectively, 445 votes. But we'll see if Sam Brinton faces any kind of penalty. What he's facing right now is a felony charge or 2 felony charges of theft, stealing in an airport, stealing luggage, and probably stealing the clothes out of the luggage, probably wearing the clothes in the luggage. And he probably has more charges. He probably is going to have more charges aside from the 2. He probably has stolen more bags. He's probably a serial bag thief. Okay, so there's probably more. But the 2 he's facing right now, felony charges, a fine for $10,000, and also 5 years in the joint for each charge. Now, if he goes to prison and let's say he has 2 charges and they have a sentence of 5 years each, he probably won't do them consecutively if he gets convicted and given years. He'll probably do them concurrent, maybe some time served, maybe they'll reduce that for sure. But they'll probably actually give him a fine. We'll see how the whole thing goes in a little while. If he goes to court and goes through the whole process, is he going to plea out? How's that going to work? We'll see. We shall see. All right. Is there anything more I wanted to get to? Oh, the Viktor Bout interview. I'll play that for you guys right quick, and then I'll get to super chats. So Viktor Bout, this is very interesting. You guys know Viktor Bout is. Viktor Bout is a Russian, or he's a convicted arms dealer from Russia, and he was in U.S. custody and traded for Brittany Griner. a WNBA basketball player. Now, this was a uneven trade by any metric you can measure. Okay, you're talking about a guy who was labeled as one of the most wanted men in the whole world at one point, a dangerous person. There was a movie based on him called Lord of War featuring Nicolas Cage. The Merchant of Death, the Lord of War. This guy was a bad person. He was locked up by the U.S. and given a 25-year sentence. He had been down for 11 years. He was going to be gone for a few more years. That guy was traded for Brittany Griner, a WNBA basketball player who was locked up in Russia for about 10 months maybe or fewer. 9 months for trying to bring weed into the country, basically. Couldn't lay off the weed for a few days and got caught at the airport bringing weed into the airport. So she gets locked up. She had been there for a while, and the possibility of her coming home was floated out there. But the whole thing was they wanted to release Viktor Bout. Now, originally, they wanted to get Viktor Bout and Paul Whelan, a U.S. Marine who was over in Russia for the past at least 2 to 4 years, who was convicted of spying. But we didn't get Paul Whelan. We got Brittany Griner for Viktor Bout. And Viktor Bout gave an interview on the Russian state media, RT, when he got out. Now, like you guys know, I have been on RT before. I like them over there. They treat me very well. So that's just full disclosure. So if you see me say something about this particular interview, you got to understand I've been on RT before. So you may think that I'm biased. I'm not, but that is your decision to make. But I got to give you that disclosure. Anyway, if you've not seen this yet, let's go ahead and play it. And y'all let me know. Did he lie here? Did he say anything that was improper? Now, also, one more elephant in the room. Some are going to say, hey, ABL, this is propaganda. This is classic propaganda from Russia. Maybe it is propaganda from Russia. I'm not really going to argue that point. Maybe you're right. But still, the question stands, did he lie? Because if it's propaganda, then why does it matter if he's telling the truth? Does it matter? We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's go ahead and roll it.
Do you hate America?
No. You know, in fact, knowing many inmates, I figure out we're sharing way more common. Maybe America is very much similar. Look, it's the same size. They have it's the same kind of this. And when you talk to them, there is nothing there even to beef about. We are naturally, born not to be enemies. And whenever there's conflict, it's elites. Every, American I met in a prison who is from rural area was very easy to deal with. He has no problem with Russia, and he was curious about Russia, despite all propaganda. They're losing their Christian values. They're losing their families. They're losing literally their countries. It's not anymore the same country. We knew America, who used to be a model for entire world and lead and be an example, like they say, a shiny town on the, sparkling town on a hill. And this is, of course, pity. It was a strong country who was really a, industrial might, this one. And look, for 30, 40 years, deindustrialization, drug problem, crime waves. You can understand, and I feel more empathy to American after this experience than I would feel any hate.
What would you consider as the most important event of the years that you have spent in prison?
Which events? International?
Well, it doesn't matter. Maybe international.
2014.
Oh, okay. Why?
Well, it's, I guess, would be in history as a turning point. It's a turning point of Russia. Finally stand up on its knees. Proud, strong.
14 years ago, when if you would have known that it's going to happen with you, you're going to spend 14 years away from your family, from your motherland, would you do something differently in your life?
It's difficult to live on the callings of your heart. But if you listen in your heart, yes, you're going to sometimes you get into trouble, but you never betrayed yourself. You know, and this inner peace gives you enough strength to go through everything. Why? Because you don't have a conflict inside of you. Doesn't matter what. You have peace and tranquility because you trust in your heart. You trust in callings of your blood. You trusting, and you're never fighting who you are.
Well, there you have it. So that was interesting interview from Viktor. Y'all say I said it wrong. Viktor Bout. I was saying Bout the whole time. Bout, Bout, tomato, whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But that was a very interesting interview from him. Again, that was on RT, Russian, I guess you would say that state media. They say Russian state media, but I mean, if you have an interview with Joe Biden on, let's say, CNN or better yet, NBC, for example, is that any different? Do you know that Karine Jean-Pierre is, I think, in a relationship with what's her name? Malveaux. Hold on. Suzanne Malveaux from CNN. Make sure I'm saying that right. See, is it? Yeah, so she's with Suzanne Malveaux from CNN. And they have a daughter together. Okay, so it's like, we're talking about like state media, define state media. See, that's Karine Jean-Pierre right there, and that's Suzanne Malveaux from CNN. And there's all kind of stuff like that going on. And then aside from the relationships that are between the federales and the media itself is just an arm of the Democratic Party. So state media, I mean, whatever. It's the same thing going on over here. We don't call it that though. We just say we always say it's that the mainstream media sucks. We don't say it's state media, but I digress. But how you guys think that interview was? Did he lie? Was it propaganda only and there was no truth to it? You can have propaganda that's true. You know, we see propaganda from like North Korea that is primarily false. Not gonna say it's all false. Some of it is true, but primarily false. Talking about Kim Jong-un is the supreme leader. He's your God and all this and that. That's false. That's propaganda. But then you have stuff like what you saw right there. It was a layup for them because they wanted that. They wanted to be able to say, well, we got Viktor Bout back for this this drug addict. It was too easy. And then when you do that, it represents the U.S. as this is who we admire. We admire basketball playing drug addicts because that's what we are. You see what I'm saying? So it's easy to paint an image about us. When you go to San Francisco and you see clips of us on the streets in San Fran, people on fentanyl strung out, they put out stats like fentanyl is leading cause of death for all Americans aged 18 to 45. So it's easy to just talk about us being on drugs and godless because that's what's going on. So the propaganda writes itself. It's really a shame. Now, I think that if we want to change what he was saying, we have to do things from within to change ourselves. We can't just point the finger at him and say, oh, he's a propagandist. He is a terrorist. He's this and he's that. What's the point of pointing the finger at him if we don't look inward and improve ourselves? That doesn't make any sense. So, yeah. Say what you want about him, but that wasn't false, what he was saying. That's my thing. I don't really care who says anything. The funny mustache guy could come back from the dead and say, hey, you know what time it is right now? It's like 9:38 on the East. What am I going to say? Oh, you're the funny mustache guy. You know what I'm talking about. You're wrong. If it's 9:38, it's 9:38. It doesn't really matter who says it. Now, that don't mean I love the guy. That don't mean that I'm just going to believe in everything he says. But that particular thing he said right there is true, and it's undeniable. But I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously if you did. And I think I'm going to go to supers here. Then I get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Reckless says, ABL is causing me to drink a lot of beer. I probably should turn this off. How am I making you drink a lot of beer? Is my voice just beer inducing? Like, how does that really work, sir? I don't know what's happening with that. But Let's go ahead and go to super chats here. And thank you all for donating. I appreciate you guys as always. Thank you to Leo Mazzino, who says, when I see Sam Brinton, I see some Brian Stelter in him. Yes, I do see a hint of Brian Stelter. You take Matt Damon, mix him with a little Brian Stelter, and throw some lipstick on it, then, hey, man, you get Sam Brinton. Throw a little kleptomania in there with some stolen luggage and stolen clothing, you got Sam Brinton. Okay, this guy pretty much wears anything, and you realize that he's wearing stolen stuff when you see the kind of outfits he has on. It kind of, you could put two and two together and get forward pretty simple. It's like, oh, that's why he dressed like that. It's like somebody that is chronically homeless and they pretty much put on whatever. It's because they're not really they're not shopping. They're putting on whatever they can put on. They're going to free clothes giveaways and just throwing stuff on. But anyway, thank you to Michael Critchlow, who says, did you hear about the city of Virginia Beach purchasing a Dairy Queen at the oceanfront? I remember trying to pick up girls there back in the day. I did hear about that. The Dairy Queen wasn't really my spot like that, but I of course, you would see that all the time. So I wonder what they're going to do right there. Are they going to try to tear that down and build something? Are they going to try to do something with the road right there? They probably some kind of expansion, some kind of eminent domain type stuff. But yeah, I did see that story on Wavy. It was a whole big thing on their Facebook page. So yeah, shout out to Virginia Beach. I don't know what they're going to do with that piece of land right there. Araya, I see your chat right there, but I can't read that one. But thank you for your chat. Thank you to Michael Critchlow, who says SBF isn't the only one going down. Did you hear about the 8 social media influencers charged in the $114 million pump and dump scheme? Check that out. No, I didn't hear about that one. They got social media influencers on that. Hold on. So I'll read this right quick. Hold on. Just real quickly. I ain't gonna take too much of your time. Like the preacher man back in the day. So, okay, DOJ 8 charged in the $114 million securities pump and dump scheme. According to the release, the individuals charged in the scheme had over 1.5 million followers on Twitter and allegedly used Discord to spread false information. Okay, so let's see here. 8 men were indicted for a long-running pump and dump scheme that used social media platforms such as Twitter and Discord to accrue at least $114 million. According to a release from the U.S. Department of Justice, the scheme reportedly, local news, you gotta love it. The scheme reportedly ran from January 2020 until April 2022. According to the release, they also used their collective social media following for over 1.5 million followers on Twitter, portray themselves as skilled stock and traders by posting pictures of their profits and lavish lifestyles and spreading false information about the product they were promoting on an online community for stock traders called Atlas Trading. Oh, wait a minute. I know. Wait. Hold on. I've heard of them before. Atlas Trading, I've heard of them. Okay, Atlas Trading also has an affiliated Discord server, which the men also use to spread false information and bring more people into the pump and dump scheme. According to the release, the men, alongside their Twitter and Discord handles, can be found below. So, Zach Morris. Oh, yeah. Zach Morris, PJ Matlock, Ultra Calls, Dip Didi, Notorious Alerts, Oh Hey Tommy, Laid Back, Hugh Henney. I've heard these guys before. I've heard these names. Okay. Wow. That's crazy. Crazy. Okay, so the main guy, Zach Morris, he got charged 3 counts of securities fraud and 1 count of engaging in monetary transactions and property derived from specified unlawful activity. Mr. Zach Morris, his name is Edward Constantine Askew. They're mostly all in Texas, except for, well, not mostly all. It's 4 guys in Texas, and you got Gary Deal, Notorious Alerts from California. So you got 2 guys in Beverly Hills, 1 guy in Miami, 1 guy in Hoboken, New Jersey. Wow. Yeah, so I've heard of them before. Atlas Trading, yes. Matter of fact, hold on. I gotta see more. I gotta see. Hold on. Atlas Trading. I saw them on the podcast, if I'm not mistaken. If I see their faces, I probably would know who they are. So this is the guy. This is one of the guys right here. Yeah, I've seen him. I've definitely seen him before. So I want to know, they were trying to trade stocks. I'm gonna look into this a little bit more. Maybe I'll do a video about it. Yeah, I definitely I'll do a video about it for sure. All right, I see you reckless. It says my voice. Okay, thank you. Or it's not my voice. It's the way I break everything down. Okay, it's all good, man. I'm glad you're watching. So shout out to you guys. Yeah, R.I.P. Dustin Diamond. R.I.P. to him. I'll look into that story more and do a video because I have seen them before. I have seen that guy, Zach Morris. I'm familiar with the whole situation now. Yeah, for sure. So I guess they were doing meme stocks. I guess that's what that was. So they're gonna try to crack down on the what's the name? On the GameStop and what else? Was it Regal or AMC or something like that? Are they gonna crack down on that? That's crazy. We'll get into that a little bit later, but super chats on that here. Let me just get back to doing what I was doing. Thank you to Miss Nikki who said, Jet, you're from VA. We say numb. Yeah, the rest too. 804-757. Yeah, shout out 804. Yeah, I'm super old VA. I remember back when the whole VA, or at least my part, was 804. Then it became 757 back when I was younger. So yeah, shout out to the 757, 804, Richmond, Petersburg, all that, on over to 7 cities. All right. That's all super chats right there. If you guys like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Eric Brown from Portsmouth, Virginia. Shout out to the P City, Pistol City. Protect your vac city. Nah, I'm sure. Anyway, the number to call is 434-658-1220. I'm going to get the Skype up and running. There'll also be an email in the description box if you want to call in and be right here by the left-hand corner of the screen. If it doesn't act right, y'all know it's not my fault. Please blame the white man because I'm not responsible. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's turn that sound off and let's get cracking. All righty. Let me see here. Let's go to 918. You're on line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, David Scott, Oklahoma. How you doing?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Hey, not a lot, man. Yeah, I don't think you, I don't know why I'm getting echo. Anyway, Viktor Bout, that interview, I think he was being genuine about what he was saying, about talking to, yeah, there we go, that's better. I think he was definitely being genuine about what he was hearing from like other inmates about how, they don't care about Russia. I think America over the years has made Russia to be out as like the boogeyman, they're, I don't know the history of Viktor Bout, but it's like merchant of death and just Russian disinformation and all this, everything Russia, like Trump says.
Right.
And Russia's probably over there thinking like, what the heck, we're not even doing anything, you're just making us out to be the bad guys, and they were in the past, but things have changed. So, I don't know. Brittany Griner, when's she going to do an interview? When is she going to be on The View or CNN or MSNBC? I wouldn't even be surprised if she doesn't even do an interview. But what's she got to say for herself?
Probably not. I mean, I won't be surprised either because what's she really going to say? We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's just, it bothers me. And hey, talking about weapons dealing, hey, look all the weapons we gave the Taliban in Afghanistan,
Yeah. Quite a bit.
Yeah, probably more than he ever did.
Well, of course, absolutely. But it's okay when we do it. But when you got other guys that do it, then it's a violation. It's, the law is kind of murky when it comes to that kind of stuff, I suppose.
It is, yeah. yeah, our government can get away with it, but yeah, if an individual tries to do it, it's illegal. You know?
Right.
But anyway, that's my rant for the night. So I'll leave it alone there. Love you, dude. Love everybody in the chat, and I'll sit back and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right, later, dude.
All right, shout out to the caller. Shout out to you guys calling as well. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. Let's go ahead and get cracking. 860, you know line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's FNA Ranger Xbox. How you doing, brother?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Oh, heck, what a week, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
But, yeah, hey, I made a new friend 2 days ago. Of all the demographics in America, me being a straight white male, what demographic do you think would be the last on the list of candidates to be my friend?
Hey, you never know. I feel like anybody, because you like the worst person on planet Earth, I suppose, to a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, us straight white guys, you know, first race to end slavery. All sorts of horrible things we've done throughout history. But anyway, this young black lady was talking to me at work, and she's from a different state, and we're sitting there chatting along, and it's like hearing myself talk. And she looks at me and goes, "I'm a lesbian." And I looked at her and said, "So am I." Hey, I can identify as anything I want, right?
There you go.
But, and, you know, we're laughing, but all my talking points, you know, how Democrats are exterminating black people, how the vaccines are killing people. She goes, "My family thinks I'm crazy." And I started saying, "Well, you got to check out ABL's videos. You got to look and see what he says about Chicago. Look and see what he says about the education system in Baltimore. You know, they used to make it illegal for slaves to know how to count and read and stuff, you know, to keep them. And what are they doing now? Same thing."
That's right.
Oh, but, well, getting back to Victor, the man's spot on. When I was in Russia for 6 months in 2017, they were like, "Why do they keep blaming us?" They had no idea. They don't care about the American election. They really don't. And I don't know. They treated me good while I was over there. And I don't know. It's oh, I know what I wanted to tell you. And this is something you might want to do a story on. There's, hold on one second. Let me pull this up on my phone while I'm looking. Okay. Breaking: Epstein victim will release shocking videotapes of elites caught in deplorable child molestation. That's on the Next News Network. You might want to investigate that for a new story. But I heard the elites are running scared. And I'll close with this. The New World Order, or World Economic Forum, said in order for us common folk to fight climate change, they now want us to kill our cats and dogs because of the food they consume causes too much tragedy to the climate. And I'll close with that, brother. You have a great night. Love your show. Keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Thanks for the
and
call,
remember, on Wimkin, the truth will be spoken. Bye-bye.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate you.
Appreciate.
All righty. Shout out, man, for the call. Always a good call. You guys want to enjoy the number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Now you're online. I'm speaking to.
Yeah, how are you doing?
It's all good. What's happening?
Yes, about Daniel Perry. I mean, you should make a video about him, man. Well, he's just like kind of getting how in trouble because he defend himself against Marxist terrorists.
Okay.
Yes, yes. I hope that you're able to make a video about that tomorrow.
I'll check it out and see what's going on.
Yes, please do. I mean, like he needs us, you know, and also he is one of us too. And beside of that, do you live in Virginia?
No, I don't. I'm from Virginia, but I don't live there now.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The Richmond district, I believe it is city, Virginia. The Mosses, they are digging up the grave of Confederate general. They discredit a commission by digging up their grave to remove it after they remove the statue. Did you hear the news about it?
No, I didn't hear about that. So you said it's in Richmond they're doing this?
Yes.
That's crazy.
They are digging up the Confederate general grave. I also the Governor Youngkin. I have to question is his anti-white Moses because he do nothing to stop them and let the anti-white Moses do as they please. This is the problem that we have. I mean, like, I want to a very Virginia person, and maybe you guys are live in Virginia right now. So I want you guys to stand up and start a lawsuit. I want you guys to know your neighbors and unite together to stand up against those Mosses and to protect your ancestors, to protect your white ancestors, to stop them from erasing history. Because after they erase the history, they will make up a history by their own.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
Yes. Also, if you guys are afraid of being canceled, then do not be afraid of cancel. Do not be afraid you get fired from the job. Just remember that you unite with your community, unite with your neighbors, and if any one of them dare to fire you, cancel you, then you can draw a lawsuit, draw a discriminatory lawsuit against them, because they discriminate against your belief.
Right on.
Yes, we must to stand up before it's too late.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yes, and also about the work white people. I mean the lefty white people. Let me tell you the truth. The truth is, they are not white. They are not white American. So how do you know it? You must search on their last name, their surname. Then you will be able to know if they are white or not. So be careful out there for those liberal lefty Moses. They call themselves white, but turn out they are really not. If you look at their last name, their surname.
Okay. Well, thank you for the call as always, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Yes. Let go, Brandon, and the shot must flow.
I thank you for the call, man. Always an interesting one. Already, Les, what's going on?
Hey, ABL, how are you?
Everything's all good.
I gotta turn this thing off. Sorry.
Got you.
Got it. Okay, got it. Good show so far. You're doing good.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate you.
You're welcome. I just wanted to laugh a little bit with that comment that you got on your super chat. You're inducing or something like that.
I was inducing.
That's what I heard. You guys say that every time he hears you. He wants to grab a cold one.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what? Okay. It must be that good, I guess, relaxing, right?
It must be. I suppose so.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to comment again just on the the Victor interview.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he could be speaking the truth. He could not be. But one thing's for sure. I mean, the man has got a point in everything he's saying, especially that the fact that America, again, has lost their morals. And it's nothing. It's not the America that we once knew before versus how it is now.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely changed. I think y'all can see that. And people are trying to get it back to what it once was. I mean, that was the whole point of Trump when he first ran, make America great again. That was the point, to get it back to what it was. And we're seeing a lot of stuff that we once took for granted just kind of go by the wayside. So what he was saying was correct.
Right. That, and then the fact that, so it's kind of, it's funny in the sense of the way, very ironic how it all played out. So when this administration, the Biden administration, went ahead and wanted to do this trade, right? They went ahead and, of course, picked the what is she? She's a basketball player, right? Sorry, I don't keep up with what she was doing. All I know that she was known for something big time.
Yeah, Brittany Griner, basketball player. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I don't think a lot of people probably watch, like, at least the WNBA. That's why I'm like, I don't know. I know she's just popular for some odd reason. But so you have the Biden administration choosing to do this trade deal. And then it's kind of like, you can say that Russia was doing the American people a further favor of just showing them where the current administration stands, right? Because it's the same, it's fact of what the Russian media moderator was saying. I know you played this last week. I think from the Russian news channel, I believe her name is like Margarita something. And she made a comment on this too, that, instead of the Biden administration making a better decision on who to bring home, because let's not forget, Brittany went out there and broke some laws. You obviously sorry, the little one, he wants to say hello.
Hey, now.
He's like making all these noises. He's like, hey, I'm here. So you have this, the Monterey, she said what was true, instead of the Biden administration making a better selection, because this woman went ahead and did, basically she broke some laws. So it's only fair that she pays time, right? Or, she has the money, she can go and figure it out with her own attorney and how to get her back here or get her out of jail, or whatever the case is. They went, and the Biden administration left an actual hero to our country. So, and they said it perfectly. Like, he had 3 problems. 1, he was white. 2, he was a male. And 3, he was straight. So this goes to further show, and I know Russia, maybe yes, maybe no, but it's very funny when we start putting it this way, when we start putting the puzzle pieces together, that Russia, I think, did this just to further do us a favor as the American people, to say, hey, look, wake up. This is what your administration is doing. They don't care about you guys, because if they went ahead and selected one of the 2, they went with the one that committed some crimes. They left the actual hero of America. And then guess what? We got what we wanted out of this. And we got one of the higher profile criminals. Because I don't know if you caught on that video that you displayed earlier today of his interview. It says Russian businessman.
Oh yeah, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? So you get what I'm saying? It's kind of like, it's just to further show us, the American people, and honestly the whole world in reality, just how low, not America as a whole, but the current administration is willing to go. But then that's the thing, the administration is what currently represents us as a whole, unfortunately, in this kind of a matter. So I just think he's smart of how he said it all, to be honest.
He really is. I agree with you on that one.
That's why I wanted to say, ABL. The little ones want to say hi, because like I said,
hey, y'all.
The younger one, the 7-year-old, was the one making all the little noises like, hey, I'm here. But we want to wish you a wonderful night. It's a good show. God bless you, and God bless everybody in the chat.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Take care.
All right, now. Always a great call. Thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. If you enjoy what you're hearing thus far, please give the video a thumbs up. like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. If you're trying to get in right now through Skype, I got to restart that because I'm having an issue right there because some calls that are not being updated. I can kind of tell it's a little issue, but you guys are fantastic so far. I'll take a few more calls, of course. Let's go ahead and get Skype back up and running. And of course, the number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. If the number doesn't work right, it's not my fault. Y'all know to blame the white man. And we're going to keep rocking and rolling. All righty. And then in the meantime, I'll read some of these chats while Skype gets back the way it's supposed to be. Let me see. Yeah, of course, always a good call. But that Viktor Bout interview, I mean, it's tough to deny it. You know, that could have been a propaganda type piece, but how can you deny what was being said? It was just a situation. It was just real. It was just all the way real. And again, a number to call, 434-658-1220. 470, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony. Hey, good to hear you. Thanks for taking my call. This is Greg from Wild and Wacky Atlanta.
All
right. How are you doing today, sir?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Well, I haven't gotten shot or stabbed today, so it's been a good day.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, I guess you heard about that 77-year-old grandma that got stabbed here on Paces West, off West Paces Ferry Road, like 2 days ago.
Yeah, that was. I saw that. That was terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah. My 23-year-old guy tried to carjack her, and then she was in the wrong place at the wrong time, got stabbed. So, yeah, pretty bad. This Viktor Bout thing, wow, that interview kind of really changed my mind about him a little bit. I'm kind of torn. Part of me kind of likes him from the interview, to be honest with you. The other part of me remembers that, he conspired to kill Americans and traded weapons all around the world, actually stole weapons. And that part I don't like, but I have to admit he does seem likable in the interview from the couple minutes that I saw him in. What do you think? I mean, this guy's pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, like from what he's been convicted of, I got to take that into consideration. But just judging the interview based on fact or fiction, I can't say that he sat there and lied. I can't say that. Now, I can judge him for other things he may have done in his past. I could judge him separately on that. But just hearing him talk, I don't really see the false thing that he said.
No, he was making sense.
Yeah.
When he's talking about America, how it's gone downhill and the drugs and everything, it's crippled America. Yeah, that made sense a lot. But I think he just got corrupted by the money and got addicted to the money and just made, some bad decisions in life. Went down the wrong path. What do you think?
I'm not really sure about that part. I mean, it could have been the money, or it could have been like he was involved with the government. I don't really know about all the details of why he was doing what he was doing. It could have been that. It could have been the money, or it could have been a higher level thing that he was just part of.
Yeah, but nonetheless, I mean, we should have let the Marine. We should have taken him back and left Griner back in Russia. I would have loved to have seen her do some hard labor. She's a traitor, hated America and Trump, so screw her. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care about her.
I agree.
I don't feel any sympathy for her whatsoever. She did something wrong and she got busted for it. And now she's back in America and she's hating it still. She's been in her home for 5 days, 3,000 square foot home, and she takes it all for granted. So, let's see how bad America is when she's over there in Russia, making big rocks into little rocks, right?
That's right.
So anyway, so I want to say thanks very much for taking my call. You have a good night. Be safe and watch yourself when you come to Atlanta.
Exactly. Will do, man. Thank you for the call.
Thank you. Take care. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
See you. Bye.
Yeah, it's a great call. And I saw that story about the lady that got stabbed. She got killed. It was crazy. 77-year-old lady. Of course, she was white and the perp was black. I mean, it shouldn't matter, but it's just part of it. What happened, I think her son came home and found her. Her son came home for Christmas and found her like that. Just terrible. Totally terrible. Who am I speaking to? 757? Okay, 757 hung up on me. I don't know what happened. But yeah, that whole thing, and that's part of the reason why Buckhead is trying to become its own city, because Atlanta can't really, they don't have the resources to be able to properly police that part of the city, let alone Atlanta proper. Calling on loudspeaker 2757.
Peace, ABL. It's Michael Critchlow from Newport News, VA.
All right, man. What's going on?
Not much, man. I've been listening to your show now. I didn't know you guys parked the trailer out here in Newport News, man. I'm going to have to go look for that.
Yeah, man. It's right there on Jefferson and Mercury. Right by the JRB.
Yeah, I was about to hop in Oh, okay. Yeah, I was about to hop in the car and go check that out while we were live. Yo, so when's that meetup happening, man? I think we should do it in Virginia Beach.
Man, I need to just really, like, this coming up year, I need to just get more on point with doing some extra stuff aside from what I do every day. Do some more stuff like the meetups and whatnot. So as soon as I find that out, I'll for sure let you know.
That's what's up. Yeah, we should meet up at that the Dairy Queen.
The Dairy Queen.
The owner actually, so the owner is actually still going to run that Dairy Queen for the time being, apparently, according to the article that I read. I think they sold the land, and the owner's going to keep the bill. I'm kind of like ignorant when it comes to, you got to buy land that the property sits on, but when you read the article, it says they purchased the Dairy Queen. So I don't really know. I don't know how all that stuff works. But they bought the land or the building, but the owner is still going to run it, and they're going to charge them like $100,000 a month or something like that.
So, I mean, are they going to tear it down eventually or put something else right there? Are they going to do something with the road? Like, what are they going to do with that?
I mean, it sounds like it's just going to be there. And he's the original owner. I think his last name is Maddox. You can probably, if you Google it, you'll see it. But he's gonna still run it. It's still gonna be there. They're not gonna tear it down or nothing.
Oh,
so I mean,
that's random.
So yeah. I saw a couple of people in the chat like asking what's gonna happen. To I think a dude named For America. He's like, what's gonna happen to that? I remember that place. But yeah, apparently the original owner's still gonna run that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I want to ask you something real quick. And this is kind of telling and a little bit funny. Like Trump came out and was like, I got a big announcement tomorrow. America needs a hero. And I'm kind of like, hold on a second. I thought you were going to be that guy. So my question to you is, I think he's going to, my spidey senses tell me that he's going to be like, you know what? And I think now that the smoke is cleared, I kind of feel like if he were to come out and be like, listen, I'm going to step back. I think America needs a fresh face to lead the Republican Party. I think that would really energize Republicans, and they won't, like, Trump may go down as it'll be a better look for him. What do you think is going to happen tomorrow whenever he announces? Do you think that or something else?
Well, I saw you posted some kind of picture, some kind of graphic, like on Twitter. It was like an animated graphic, so I'm not really sure. It might be some kind of product he's going to release. I don't think it's going to be a political announcement. I think it's going to be more of a, buy my Trump steaks or something like that. I don't think it's going to be a political. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't think it's going to be what people. It probably won't be as big as what people are thinking it's going to be.
Okay, that part where he said America needs a hero, what kind of like made me think that maybe he's going to back down. But I don't know. I think it'll be. I mean, if he did back down, if he runs, it's like I'll support him. But I think if he took a step back and that because the Republicans, they got a deep bench. So I mean, if he was to announce that him going to step back, I think that'll really energize. A lot of MAGA people will be upset, but I think that a lot of people would that would energize the Republican Party, and the media's going to go crazy. So I guess we'll see what happens though.
I agree. I think you're right about that.
Yeah. Lastly, man, that Zach Morris, that guy, he's like the ringleader of that whole meme stock thing. And you're right. It sounds like that's going to be like a meme stock crackdown is what they're doing. Because like there's a couple of stocks that I use StockTwits. You familiar with StockTwits?
You said what now? Stock flips?
Social media.
Oh,
Stock
nah.
flips.
Uh-uh.
It's like Twitter. Like, you know, Twitter use the hashtag, whatever you want to say. It's like it's $ instead of the hashtag. So it's like literally it's like a Twitter clone, but they've been around just as long as Twitter. It's not like True Social or Gab or anything like that. Like, they've been around for a long time, but it's like the same thing. It's like a Twitter for stock trading, but instead of using hashtags, you use the $ and you can follow the tickers.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like dudes, like on the meme stock stuff, man, like people, they would like, it's crazy, but I know you got other callers, but I think that's going to be a good thing for the markets when they crack down, if they, you know, crack down on these people, because you be trading the stock and then they'll catch wind to it. And the next thing you know, like a bunch of people want to trade the stock, pump it up, and then it dumps. And then long-term investors and stuff, they don't want to be involved. That actually happened to me in one of the stocks I was trading. I made a little bit of money on it, but had that not happened to the stock that I was trading, you know, you got these pump and dump crews out there. Had that not happened to the stock, I feel like the stock would have performed a lot better. But I think that whole the crackdown that they're going to do on the meme stocks is going to be good for the markets overall.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not going to take up too much of your time, man. I love your show. I appreciate you taking my call. God bless, man, and be safe. Peace.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate you. All right, great call. Absolutely great call. Yeah, that whole thing with the meme stocks, they definitely. I did not really see that ending too well, but I'm not sure where that whole thing is going to go, because is there evidence that was a pump and dump? Like, I don't know what they're really going to get them on. Like, there may have been some things they did that were improper or illegal, but we got to we got to figure out what that was specifically. You got to figure out what that was specifically, and see, you know, how they go from there. Is it going to be any kind of criminal penalty or what's going on? Yeah, we talking about stock. We talking about stocks. We ain't talking about nothing else. We're not talking about nothing that's inappropriate at all. And we got some rain coming my way, but I think I'll be able to be here for a while. I might have to get off a little bit early because we got rain coming. It's like a line of some storms. So I'll pull it back up right quick. It's a line of storms coming my way, and it looked like it might be a tornado in there, or just some heavy winds. So I know what happens anytime there's wind and rain. My power goes off. I don't know. We got to tighten it up. We got to get the power company to come out here and tighten these lines up. But for the most part, it does good. Like, it's been raining all day today, and I didn't have any problems with the power. But once that wind kick in, then it's like something different. The wind get above 25 miles an hour. It's like, you know, the power is like, hey, I can't help it. Like, what's really going on? 254 to the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, good evening, ABL. How you doing? It's been a while since I called in.
Oh, it's all good, man. How about yourself?
Not too bad. Surviving out here for a little bit longer in California. Be heading out here momentarily. So hope the weather for you gets pretty good. We just had some rain out here. Got to enjoy it myself. Get on some of the topics, though. We kind of hit up a little bit. So the whole Brittany Griner thing, the only reason I get upset about that one the most is being on the military side. We've had issues where we've even pulled into countries before. You know, we kind of get briefings, things like that, before we go out on the town and enjoy ourselves. We tell people, like, hey, can't do X, Y, and Z out here. It is what it is. Sometimes some of these countries even don't even have agreements with the U.S. military or U.S. itself, where you screw up out there, you're stuck. So they can't help you on that. I witnessed this one time in Singapore where somebody got in trouble for going out on the town. They made themselves a fool on the town. They got arrested. They actually got caned. And,
wow,
you know, they missed the ship's movement. And so they get punished not only by the U.S. Navy, but they also got punished in another country as well. So I never tracked out the rest of that story, what happened to that guy. But in the words of Rick Astley, like he said it best, you know the rules and so do I. So,
exactly.
But talking about some of the corruption stuff, we're looking at with this whole, you know, we know what goes on when it talks about some of this stuff with the FTX thing. We know the money trades that are going on in the background, the whole insider trading, the things we witnessed at a grand scheme. You know, these people are in this 1%, 5%. These people that are high value or high political figures that we see in our countryside, it's just a little upsetting that most people aren't upset about what actually takes place in our country, what actually takes place with these politicians or even celebrities, things like this. You know, we know insider trading events are going on. We know money gets exchanged at a different level. And the sad part that this is, you know, we see this as, you know, we got to keep the poor distracted. Don't let them know this information. Why do we got to let them see this? And you start talking about, you present this stuff out there. You know, politicians get upset about this, or these people at the high levels get upset about it. And, you know, I try, like, some of these people I have the conversations about this, like, you know, some of my friends at the bars or something like that, so too, or you start bringing this up to, like, I guess, more common folk. And it's amazing how many, either people don't know it, people don't know what's going on, or they're just too busy distracted in their own lives. You know, you got your TikToks, you got your Instagrams, look at this, pay attention to that right there. You know, pay attention to Kim Kardashian, or pay attention to the Johnny Depp trial instead of paying attention to, you know, what's going on with Maxine Gizlo, you know, Epstein's girl that he had with her. You know, these are things I just wish people would, like, actually open up, because you have the internet. They have a plethora of information that's actually out there. Not everything is disinformation like everyone wants to present it. But we have information that can be easily accessibly found, but people are only stuck to that one little side of the world. And then last but not least, I'll leave it with the whole situation with Viktor Bout, the whole Russian thing. I'm sorry, that guy's speaking facts. It is what it is. I had people that, you know, we can sit there. I remember America I grew up in, what I kind of see now, the high inflation that we got to deal with unnecessary you know, situations where we can create ourselves for overseas, not adversaries, I guess, but what we create overseas, situations we have on a global scale, but also, like, you know, the good morals of what you had in America. You know, I miss, like, you know, understand the events 9/11 took place. It's pretty rough right there, but you saw the patriotism that Americans had from right after that. You know, how many people sat there supporting the military? How many people sat there and bought American flags and out there? You know, growing up as a kid, you see this stuff as well, especially me growing up in the 90s. I miss some of the stuff that we used to partake and see in our country on that. And I see that with some of my friends, too, that have traveled from overseas and become U.S. citizens. They wanted to come to America because they remember what America actually was on that. And now you see this moral decline that's actually being generated out there. Could it be something that's just a propaganda thing to keep a separation for us poor people, to focus on one thing and not pay attention to what's actually happening at a higher level? Could be. But the thing is that we actually sit here and see what's actually going on. It's pretty sad, this great divide that you want to create on our own country. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying the guy's talking a little bit of facts right there on it. I don't see the problem of us having better morals, better standards, what we should have to be Americans on that. But, you know, I don't really got much to say on that one, man. So I'm hoping to be able to call in a few more times before I leave out of here in California. But take care. Y'all have a good Christmas. Everybody in the chat, peace out.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you. Fantastic call. You know, all the points real quick. 575 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, my name's Sean. I just want to say I love the 76 freedom, you know, small government energy. I love the previous caller talking about the distractions online that are basically presented to us to keep us from learning and all that. And I'll just keep it quick because I love you guys and you're all free thinkers and I love that. All I wanted to say is 9/11 is an inside job and the resulting Patriot Act was one of the greatest infringements on our freedoms. Thank you.
Thank you for the call. All right. You know, in and out, straight with it. Like, hey, this is what's going on. Good callers tonight. 773 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL. ABL. First off, have you ever seen this deleted scene by a dinosaur stealing this purse? Because that exactly reminds me of this bag snatcher that Biden hired who's been fired. If you've seen it, you get the joke.
Nah, I don't think I saw that, but I could kind of see how you can make, you know, a comparison because this guy. Yeah.
Basically saying wonderful day it is for a purse snatching, and he snatches the purse up. If you've seen the 14-second clip, you get what I mean, and be able to kind of laugh in comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In all seriousness, ABL, there's a lot of serious things that were happening yesterday and today that should be kind of raising some critical questions among conservatives. first off, Glenn Beck got off of a interview. He's talking about how this whole trans craze is much bigger than Balenciaga. If you've seen that advertisement of them actually putting kids up on display in bondage gear, actually grooming them.
Yeah, that's what's going on. Like, it's a whole process. The whole grooming process is going on in the advertisement, and then they put it out there to the public to try and recruit more. So it's a very nefarious thing.
Yeah, and as my friend mine of Jamal and Dr. Common Sense brought up entirely on their Rumble page, if you can check it out for yourself, to them out for yourselves, is that conservatives seem to be having a type of compromising type of deal when it comes to left, and they don't seem to kind of stand their ground long enough and saying enough of this, especially when it comes to the alpha community and this whole grooming agenda coming from Hollywood, the deep state, and Biden himself actually being a full-blown pedo around kids, because we all see it and the media completely ignores it, but there's only a few handful of Republicans who are not part of the establishment swamp who are willing to kind of make a stand. Because according to Clint Black, only 3 states in the South have permanently banned this surgery on minors, but 47 states seem to be okay or numb to it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I pretty much do want you to kind of, if you have some free time, to kind of check out both of their interviews, especially the Dr. Common Sense one about conservatives and Christians just being too pacifist about whatever the left is doing, and how many people in the Republican Party knew about the whole Hunter Biden stuff coming from Rudy Giuliani, but a lot of conservative reporters just sat on the story back in 2019. Even some good people at Fox News, because Sean Hannity and a couple others like Mom Pompeo are just slime balls. But surprise, Dr. Common Sense even put Tucker Carlson into it, even though I vaguely remember hearing him actually report on the story in its entirety when it was first brought up back in 2019.
Right on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, if you do see either one of their videos, please know you think about it, because this is kind of a very serious introspective conversation all conservatives need to have and debate amongst themselves, because we can't get nothing accomplished if we're just sitting around and just being this part of move along to get along type of gang with no major pushback, especially if we actually care about our own kids.
No doubt. I got you, man. But thank you for the call as always. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Shout out to my man for the call. Appreciate you guys. I got a little bit more time. I might have to leave a little bit early because we got the storm coming, and I already know power going to go out. So it's just going to be, I'll be talking and then it'll just be gone. But I think right now the storm is over, like past, matter of fact, where's that picture? I just had it up. Let me put it up again. All right, Tariq, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, ABL, man? Yeah, man, you're right, man. That Viktor Bout interview was very eye-opening. And yeah, he was, it's interesting that he went to Russia and didn't really just attack America and was really just, sympathizing with the Americans and calling out the corruption of the media. And I also do agree that it doesn't matter if it was coming from RTTV, what he was speaking was true. And, the whole ban towards RTTV, man, I think that was by design because if you notice, RTTV was like one of the fastest growing news networks on YouTube. And it directly countered the American media because RTTV will allow like independent Americans and give them a voice to actually debate mainstream people. Like I've seen you even debate people on there.
Yep.
So why would they sit there and ban something like that and talk about Russian propaganda? That is just BS because you know what I'm saying? You look at the American media to sit there and call anything propaganda. Why aren't liberals reporting the Twitter files? Like it's crazy. If you go to the average American who doesn't really look at the internet like us and ask about the Twitter files, they won't even know what it is. Because we have a corrupt, biased media that will not report on it because it makes Democrats look bad. But they want to sit there and try to lecture the world and lecture other countries about their media being open and free. We don't have no open and free press. In fact, if you platform certain people, you will get canceled. It's crazy. So say we over here act like a bunch of hypocrites, but then gonna try to lecture other networks. But yeah, that's why RT was canceled because they allowed Americans who don't have a voice in our own country to where we have to reach out to a foreign country to just give us a voice to speak with our own people because this is just how corrupt our system is. So yeah, man, I'm in total agreement with Viktor Bout. I could just imagine like a Brittany Griner interview. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the standard Russia's evil, Russia is bad. You know what I'm saying? She better be lucky that Russia even allowed her to come out because, I'm sorry, I really can't sympathize with her because Americans, like I said, especially liberal Americans, they think they can go to these other countries, break their laws, and then try to, act victim. Maybe Brittany Griner's status would have got her out in America easily, but in other countries doesn't play. And that's what these liberals got to learn, man. They got to learn the hard way. So, yeah, man. And just one more thing, man. I'm looking at these never Trump Republicans, man. To this day, like I'm still not seeing them attacking Democrats. I'm still seeing them just being pro, whatever the establishment is. So, I say that to say this, man. I really do want Trump to win because I really think that if we don't purge these never Trump Republicans out, and let's say they take back hold the Senate and Congress, it's not going to be anything different as if we have a bunch of Democrats because they stand for nothing. And that's all I got to say, man.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate you.
All right. Take care.
Very good calls. Great calls tonight. You guys been on fire. Absolutely. You guys have been on fire with the calls. A lot of good points were made. Yeah, we definitely got to be able to stand for more than what we stand for. Because if we don't, then it's like, what are we going to have for ourselves in the future? Now, here's what I wanted to show you guys. I got some storms coming. So I am more toward the center of the map, like right in this area, like right over here. And you see that storm over there? You see that right there? Now, the thing is, this line, when you got like a straight line like that, that's like a lot of times you get straight line winds. That can create tornadoes. And the good thing is that it's a big mountain right here, Mount Eagle. Well, that's like the Cumberland Plateau. See right there? See these little, in that area, it's like it goes all the way down. So basically, you kind of go into a lower elevation, but it's also like kind of higher elevation. It's kind of hard to explain. Basically, it's like a mountain right there. So when it hits the mountain, it might break up a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Like I say, that's coming my area right now. Like right around now, like I say from now up until like March-ish, April-ish, it's like tornado season or really heavy wind and rain season. It's crazy. Really crazy. They already got hit down south, like Louisiana got hit with some tornadoes. It was a tornado in Dallas earlier too. And actually got hit by a tornado back in 2020. A lot of you guys might remember that. My neighborhood where I was living, I was in Chattanooga, but I was like down towards like Gun Barrel, like the mall. I was in that area. I don't live over there right now, so I'm not giving my current location.